Yeah, I am a toy. And a friend. My guess is no one's ever loved you before.
How's it going, everyone? It's me, Vivi, and welcome to a discussion of Kingdom Hearts Dark Road Episode 1. So yeah, the episode came to a close and it ends with this. Yeah, quite dark, ain't it? We fast forward to 4 years later. Xehanort at a gravesite in Scala Ad Caelum. 4 flowers lying on the ground. Erika says what happened isn't your fault. Now who are these 4, you might ask? For now, we'd like to believe it's his classmates, or rather, should I say his closest friends, apart from Ericus. This gravesite, Xehanort losing his friends like that, it could have been one of the reasons why he decided to become the Seeker of Darkness. This scene now, it doesn't make it look too obvious, but perhaps with time, it'll slowly creep up on him, and slowly kickstart his desire to wanting to become the Seeker of Darkness. 4 years ago, Master Odin, who we finally get to see, yeah, this guy right here, being Ericus and Xehanort's master. The master they seemed to be talking about during this chess scene in Kingdom Hearts 3. So, during this scene in Dark Road, he tells the lower class students that the 7 upper class students went missing while on their Mark of Mastery exam. They are tasked to look for them. Another student is missing here, who apparently is given another task by Master Odin. His name is Baldur. Nomura is really going full-on Norse mythology here. Master Odin, I mean, come on. Baldur, going off the mythology, he represents light, innocence, and goodness. Will the names these students have, based on Norse mythology, have any sort of symbolic meaning? Knowing Nomura. Who knows? Time will tell. Before our lower class students, Ver, Xehanort, Ericus, Bragi, Erd, and Hermod make their departure, they're all tasked to wear a Keyblade armor, to travel across different worlds. And look what we have here. That is Nohart's armor we saw in Birth by Sleep's Mirage Arena, the secret boss battle. And don't forget about Armored Xemnas from Kingdom Hearts 2. So wait, Vivi, you're saying Nohart was Xehanort this whole time? Yup. Let me bring up a quote from Kingdom Hearts 3's Ultimania, the most recent quote regarding this information. What was the true identity of Nohart, who appeared in KH Birth by Sleep Final Mix? Nomura. That was also Master Xehanort. That was the armor he used to wear a long time ago, and in this game he was wearing his current armor. So the armor we have in Kingdom Hearts 3 is just a different armor he's wearing. But the one we had in Birth by Sleep, it's the armor he wore when he was younger, at least. Basically, this is the second time Nomura goes back to the earlier games to pick up something and make it relevant again. The armor, Nohart, is 1. 2 would be this machine in Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. The first time we saw it, remember, was in Kingdom Hearts 1's The End of the World, in Radiant Garden. And we got to see it in Union Cross. So it appears Nomura is bringing that machine back. As for how it was built or how it was inspired, we don't know. Alright, back to the point. The first world our students visit, Agrabah. That would explain why Xehanort became the Seeker of Darkness. He was so tired of Agrabah, he pursued resetting the world by summoning Kingdom Hearts. By making everyone's lives miserable, because this dude visited Agrabah way too many times. I tried to make a joke. So they arrive in town and it's empty. According to the trio, the worlds are still being restored, believing that humans would return last. The Keyblade War caused the worlds to become separate, and with that, the notion of world order was born. Xehanort also admits that worlds' times flow differently. We were aware of different realms with different time flow. For example, the Realm of Darkness, the whole situation with Aqua, how she hasn't aged at all. The time in the Realm of Darkness flows slower than the Realm of Light. I feel that's going to be a plot point for returning Disney worlds in the future. You know how worlds flow differently. You know, imagine sequels, just to give you an idea. Anyway, back to this. They now wonder what the heck are Emblem Heartless doing here. Yes, they were taught of Pure Blood and Emblem Heartless, and I appreciate the fact that they brought back this information to the surface, that there are two types of Heartless. It's a nice refresher. These students are aware what was happening back then, during the time of the Foretellers, pre-Keyblade War basically. Heartless were conjured from the future of these worlds using the Book of Prophecies. And now we also wonder, how do they even know about the Book of Prophecies, right? How did that knowledge even get passed down? So what this tells us, the Book of Prophecies is not with Master Odin, let's say. They're wondering how come Emblem Heartless, without the Book of Prophecies, are present within these worlds. Now going back to Union Cross, which by the way is entering its final chapter very soon, the book was given to Brain by Ava. Complete wild guess, okay? The book found its way to the Master of Masters. Was that planned? We don't know what the Master of Masters was thinking. If he were to get the book back into his hands, then the Master of Masters is summoning these Heartless to test one character in particular, Xehanort. Or he's probably just letting the future take its course by summoning Emblem Heartless. I mean, why would he test Xehanort, knowing that Xehanort would still turn out to be Old Man Xehanort in the future, trying to reenact the war? It makes you think. And the thing is, both groups, which by the way they were split into two, they all spotted Heartless. So I'd like to believe the latter, where the Master of Masters is just letting the future take its course. 4 years later, Xehanort says he hasn't seen everything. This scene in Remind, where he talks to the Master of Masters, this is before his Mark of Mastery exam ends. So I take it this scene with the Master of Masters has connections to the scene in Dark Road, meaning the scene in Kingdom Hearts 3 takes place after. According to Ericus, the exam is still far away, but this scene in Remind does take place after. The next candidate responsible for these Emblem Heartless, easy, Lucio, who probably found the Book of Prophecies after. He was never given the book. In the first place, Lucio's task was to pass down the Master of Masters' Keyblade until, you know, the events of Kingdom Hearts 3 happen, to keep it short. At this point in time, we assume the Master of Masters' Goat Keyblade is hanging in this room. Remember this scene in Kingdom Hearts 3? Let's not forget about this one. The Keyblade was hanging on the wall. Lucio, perhaps using this old man as a vessel, well, maybe he took part of this person a long time ago, and his vessel is slowly, you know, aging. Because why not? Eventually, Master Odin might pass down the Keyblade to Xehanort. Lucio, out of pure enjoyment and curiosity, wants to test Xehanort. He probably read the Book of Prophecies, if he did find it of course, and that would explain Emblem Heartless being around. But in all honesty, Lucio and the Master of Masters might not even be behind the Emblem Heartless. And if Lucio did find the Book of Prophecies, then what happened to it? Lucio is now part of Breg or Xigbar. So is it far-fetched to say that if he can lose a box, he probably found the Book of Prophecies along the way? And maybe lost that as well? These are just wild guesses, alright? In later episodes, these Emblem Heartless, for all we know, might get explained. I mean, we're simply dealing with one episode. Keep that in mind. Like it just began. Another scenario. Well, a different scene, I mean. Xehanort leaving his home on Destiny Islands. We always knew that Destiny Islands was his home place, according to his reports. Well, one of his reports. Quickly, this scene in Dream Drop Distance. We thought it was time travel from the get-go, how he was given the ability to do so, right from the start. Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, set Xehanort on his path, and we thought it was time travel. But it appears he sent him to Scala Ad Caelum, and that's what young Xehanort meant in Dream Drop Distance when talking to Sora. So basically a time loop is going on, if I'm not mistaken. Xehanort, Old Man Xehanort, remembering how he got to Scala, right? So he thought it was time to split himself in two, Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, and Xemnas. Young Xehanort being his waypoint in the past, exactly what he says in this scene. Episode 1 brings in this new mystery as well. Xehanort dreaming of the player over and over. I don't have this mind-boggling theory, so I'll just go over a couple of scenarios. Notice how he sheds a tear before waking up, feeling the emotion the player felt on that day, before being rescued by Scala and Ephemera. Okay, dreams in Kingdom Hearts, from what we've learned so far, represents connection. Yozora dreaming up Sora, causing them to actually fight physically. The final world is a realm on the verge of death, so dreams are connected to that realm, we can say. And it does allow you to physically interact and be present. Speaking of the final world, Sora being asleep in Kingdom Hearts 1, this is something I bring up time and time again, it caused them to wind up there, according to Charity, although we didn't see it technically in Kingdom Hearts 1, because, you know, the final world wasn't a thing in Nomura's mind back then. But yeah, the idea is there. Roxas, Sora's nobody, dreaming up Sora, aka Sora's memories. Now wait a minute, didn't Sora cry in this scene? With one eye shedding a tear, basically representing Roxas crying? Blasphemy! So Xehanort must be player's nobody. Look, it did come to mind, but then again, it's Tetsuya Nomura. Would he really make it that obvious so soon? To give this theory credit, nobodies can grow their own hearts. Xemnas confirmed it in Dream Drop Distance. But the thing with Xehanort and player, we don't know if they're coexisting. Typical nobodies share the same physical appearance as their human counterpart, and do not coexist. As for Sora and Roxas, it's an anomaly. They were coexisting. Roxas in the picture caused Sora's memories to get absorbed by him, thus explaining why he was dreaming up Sora. Roxas had to merge back with Sora in Kingdom Hearts 2 in order for Sora to wake up. Honestly, I feel the tear from one eye, looking at Xehanort, is what gives weight to the whole nobody theory. Some might also try and debunk this theory simply by saying, wait a minute, nobodies don't even age. If Xehanort is a nobody, how did he age? I guess they do. Look, as long as you grow a heart, at least that's what I understood, and to be honest, Nomura during an old Famitsu interview said that nobodies don't age when mentioning Xemnas. But then in Birth by Sleep you wonder, wasn't Ienzo young when everyone was turned into nobodies? Yes. Then again you wonder, okay, maybe Ienzo turned older before turning into a nobody, right? It's like a whole can of worms, honestly. Apart from this whole nobody theory, we can also say the player's heart found its way inside Xehanort. When and why it is still unknown, thus explaining why he was dreaming up players' memories. Sora dreamt up Aqua and Terra in Dream Drop Distance, don't forget. Ven's heart was still residing within Sora during that part, until the events of Kingdom Hearts 3, where Ventus finally woke up. So yeah, if someone's heart sleeps within you, there's the chance you will eventually dream up their memories. The only instance of someone not dreaming up someone when they're inside you? Terra and Ericus. Ericus popped right out of Terra, and then went to Kingdom Hearts with Xehanort. You wonder, why did Ericus go within Terra, right? So the same thing could apply for the player. Maybe he hid within Xehanort for some time during Dark Road. Maybe in a couple of episodes we might see the player come out of Xehanort and, you know, something happens. By the way, is this like a Charity sort of situation? Well, if Xehanort is dreaming up the player's memories, that would technically have to do with the player's Charity, right? If player is gone, like gone, so would its Charity. Unless, of course, we go back to the scenario I just said. Player's heart is within Xehanort, along with Charity. Think of how Ventus's Charity, I do believe that's Ventus's Charity looking at this scene after Kingdom Hearts 3 ends. Ventus, probably due to his amnesia, lost Charity in the final world. Anywho, I think I've said plenty. Like I said, it's simply one episode. We might get more answered with time. So with that being said, guys, this is it for the video. If you have your own theories, thoughts, or questions, or anything like that, leave it all in the comment section below. And as always, I've been Vivi, and thank you so much for watching.